From Embry Riddle's University Fieldhouse in Daytona Beach, it's the championship game of the Florida Sun Conference Men's Basketball Tournament. Tonight, the host school, Embry Riddle, takes on the defending tournament champions, St. Thomas University. Hi everybody, I'm Sid Champagne, and with Michael Laderman to call tonight's final game, the championship game of the Florida Sun Conference Men's Basketball Tournament between Embry Riddle and St. Thomas University. And Mike, two contrasting styles, the power game of St. Thomas versus the running game of Embry Riddle.
And both teams, Sid, use it well. St. Thomas, that's how they got here. They get the ball underneath. They'll try and out-physical anybody in this conference. That's how they got past Florida Memorial, and that's how they got past Flagler to get here.
And St. Thomas's man tonight is going to be K.C. Cullens. Last night, 36 points from the court.
K.C. Cullens, just an amazing game yesterday against Flagler. 36 points, like you said, very big in the second half, including the key three-pointer, Sid, with just 30 seconds to go, which put them here in this title game.
And a big man to watch, a power man to watch is Anthony Randolph. He is going to provide some meat underneath.
Anthony Randolph, the key to Embry Riddle. They're going to have to try and stop him. He comes in, Sid, 12 points a game. He gets 12 points also against Florida Memorial. 12 points last night to get them here to the title game. He's a very steady player, which could also come up with the big steal at certain times.
And Embry Riddle offensively is going to look to their man. He's an all-conference player, Anthony Burroughs. He can light it up any night of the week.
Anthony Burroughs, one of the top offensive players in this conference, comes in the third leading scorer of the conference, averaging 19. Coach Steve Ritter wants to get a little more out of him. He hasn't hit his average yet, but he will be a key factor tonight.
The man who's kind of brought Embry Riddle to this final, the story of this tournament so far, the freshman, Kyle Moss, averaged only 10 points a game during the season, but 22 points per game in this tournament.
Absolutely. Kyle Moss, the freshman from Coral Springs, comes in, like you said, 10 points a game. He got his big break about 3 weeks ago at St. Thomas. He gets the start, plays well down there, and then throughout the rest of the year, averages 10 a game. All of a sudden, the conference tournament, Sid, he lights up Nova Southeastern for 24 points 2 days ago, and then yesterday, 20 points to help the Eagles to this title game.
We should have a great game, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay tuned. We'll have the opening lineups and the tip-off in just a moment. Hi, everybody. We'll welcome you back to Daytona Beach for tonight's Florida Sun Conference Championship Final between Embry Riddle University and St. Thomas. The starting lineups for St. Thomas tonight: Mike Mulatto, the senior from Miami, 6'2", averaging 7 points a game. K.C. Cullens, the star, he's a junior. Gregory Watts, he's the floor leader. Anthony Randolph and Sasha Rothstein will provide the meat and the power underneath tonight. For Embry Riddle, Anthony Burroughs, he's an all-conference selection. Austin Brownlee, he is the floor general for this team. Kyle Moss, he's been the story of this tournament. Pete Stubbs, the defensive specialist, and Jason Williams, the center underneath. And we're ready to go from Daytona Beach. In with me, Mike Laderman, to call the play-by-play tonight. Mike, we've got a great ball game in store for our fans this evening.
The rubber match of this series, Sid, St. Thomas taking the first one, 73-71 here at Embry Riddle. And then, of course, Embry Riddle taking the second one, 91-66 down in Miami. This should be a good one.
Embry Riddle has the opening tip, and there's Austin Brownlee with the ball, handing it off far side on a wing. Out on top, Embry Riddle looking to score here early on, and last night they trailed, Mike, before they came back and won the ball game.
They sure did, but they finally got things going. Again, like we mentioned earlier, Kyle Moss was the big man, hitting some major shots to get him here.
We've got a foul underneath the basket and a man going to the line, and that's Anthony Burroughs, the star of this team. Burroughs averaging 76% from the foul line during the regular season, and in the tournament averaging 67%. He's hit 4 of 6 in the tournament. First shot up, and nothing but the bottom of the net, and Embry Riddle leads early on 1-0 here, playing for the Florida Sun Conference Championship on their home floor. Second shot up and in, and they lead 2-0, and that was a problem that Coach Steve Ritter was worried about, his foul shooting. So far tonight, they're 2 for 2, 100%.
Burroughs needs to have a big game, Sid. Again, he only had 9 the first game against Nova and 16 against Warner Southern. They're going to look for him all night.
Greg Watts, a little man underneath, kicks it out, three-pointer up, no good. Rebound, Embry Riddle. That's Pete Stubbs underneath. Here comes Embry Riddle, and Mike, they're running early.
They're going to need to do that, while St. Thomas, again, is going to try and muscle underneath. Embry Riddle going to try and get around their muscling and finesse them.
Williams with the ball, trying to get underneath. Kicks it out. Brownlee for 3. Off the rim, off the backboard, and we'll be going the other direction. 2-0 early on here in Daytona Beach. Embry Riddle leading on 2 foul shots from Anthony Burroughs. Embry Riddle last night upset Warner Southern, the regular conference champions here. And St. Thomas came back and beat Flagler to reach the finals tonight. Down underneath, number 40 with a shot, blocked away, but a foul called, and he'll be going to the line. Sacha Rothstein will be heading to the line for 2 foul shots.
Rothstein has got to come up big for St. Thomas tonight, Sid. Here he is, a senior out of Gainesville, 6'7", and he averages 11.3 points per game, has not hit that yet in the conference play.
80% from the foul line in this tournament for Rothstein. First shot, kicks off the front rim, no good.
8 points against Florida Memorial, only 4 against Flagler. Getting some good minutes, though, 31 and 34, respectively.
Second shot up, hits the front rim, the back rim, and falls in 2-1 early on from Daytona Beach. And here come the Eagles again. Austin Brownlee with the ball, and Greg Watts is all over him. Man-to-man tonight for St. Thomas. Jason Williams out on top, and a foul call away from the ball, and it looks like Greg Watts is going to get called for holding. The big man holding, the small man holding the big man, trying to keep Kyle Maas in check.
Watts tried to play the role of muscle man on that play.
And he's the smallest man on the floor tonight. Foul was on Mike Bellato, rather. It's his first foul tonight. Austin Brownlee with the ball out on top. Greg Watts all over him, man-to-man. Pete Stubbs out on top with the basketball. Far side on a wing to Brown. Williams trying to get inside and get a bucket early on. That's something we didn't see much of last night. Kicks it out Brownlee for 3. Off the side of the rim, no good, but Stubbs gets the rebound. Looking for Kyle Maas to take his first shot tonight, but Pete Stubbs has got it in underneath. Kicks it back out and around. Here comes Burrows for 3. Off the rim, no good. Cold shooting so far tonight, Mike.
Embry Riddle not hitting the shots that they need to.
Fast break, and there's a dunk. Sacha Rothstein and a little fast break. Uncharacteristic of St. Thomas tonight, leading 3-2 here early on from Daytona Beach.
Rothstein
Here's a replay. Look at him go up, and he just jams the ball home.
Needs to do that a couple more times to get his rhythm into this game.
Burrows gets in underneath. And that's 2 for Anthony Burrows, his first field goal tonight. 4 points for Burrows. He scored all the points for Embry Riddle. They need a big game out of their star tonight to take this championship title.
Burrows averaging 19 per game, had 16 against Warner Southern. He needs to step it up as well.
Greg Watts, the little man on the floor, kicks it out near side now. Far side baseline, going in underneath, and there is traveling called. Randolph travels and go the other direction. Embry Riddle leading this ball game 4-3 early in Daytona Beach. Austin Brownlee, the floor general, doesn't do much scoring, but he's an important part of their team. He moves the offense around for them.
Brownlee is able to put the ball up, and when he gets an open shot, he will take it.
There's Burrows now, near side on the wing, dishes it into the baseline there to Williams, who's trying to get open for a shot, but he can't. Kicks it out and then back in. There's Pete Stubbs with a reverse move. Running one-hander from Pete Stubbs. Beautiful move.
Great play underneath by Stubbs, and he's going to try and get that all night long, averaging 12 a game.
The senior from Lithonia, Georgia. Oh, my goodness. Mr. Watts with a three-pointer. The little man from nowhere land. It's the 3 from nowhere. Back the other way, and we're going to have a foul, blocking foul on Casey Collins. And so far tonight, we haven't heard much from Casey Collins, who had 36 points last night in the 85-81 win over Flagler.
Casey Collins started out slow in this conference tournament, only 8 points against Florida Memorial, yet he came up big with 4 steals. Going to try and pick up where he left off, though, against Flagler.
Burrows taking more of a leadership role tonight than he did last night so far. Austin Brownlee handing up to Williams, and that's another thing we didn't see last night. They're trying to get Williams inside, trying to fight him with Rothstein, maybe pick up a couple fouls on Rothstein or get a bucket. And there's going to be a foul, and going in the other direction on Jason Williams.
Jason Williams, another key player for Embry Riddle, had 14 points against Warner Southern. Look for him to try and light it up as well. Steve Ritter, very high on that young man.
Don't think they called the foul. Must have been three-point lane violation there against Embry Riddle, and Jason Williams has been trying to get inside so far tonight. There's a 3 from Cullen, his first shot of this evening. No good, tip, no good. Here comes Embry Riddle, and we're going coast to coast here in Daytona Beach. Austin Brownlee drives all the way, stops, shoots, scores!
Great play by Brownlee, making the move, like you say, coast to coast.
Let's watch this replay. Look at him. He's off balance, but he gets it in. All the way, one side to the other. Back to live action now, and St. Thomas slowing it down a bit. 8-6, the home team. Embry Riddle leading. Cullen inside, misses the shot. Rebound taken by St. Thomas. Here's the big man, Rothstein, shoots and scores.
Rothstein, fantastic play by Sasha, the 6'7" center underneath, playing the type of game that St. Thomas wants him to play.
That's his first 2 tonight. Ball tipped away and out of bounds. Rothstein got his hand on it, but Embry Riddle will have the ball. We have a timeout on the floor with 15:29 remaining, 8-8. We'll be going to a break and be back in a moment. Hi everybody, Sid Champagne and Mike Laderman. We're back here in Daytona Beach, the championship game of the Florida Sun Conference Tournament. The winner goes to the national championship in Nampa, Idaho. Embry Riddle has the ball, taking it out under their own basket, but good defense, and they're going to take a timeout here on the floor. Coach Steve Ritter, in his ninth season at Embry Riddle, hopes to get back to the national tournament. Bill Sullivan, in his first year at St. Thomas, also hopes to get there. Both men said they don't care where they're seated. They just want to be seated in the tournament.
Well, this is a place where Embry Riddle has been the last 2 years, that being the national championship tournament. They want to get back there for the 3rd time, and it would be the 4th time in the last 6 years.
Our officials tonight, Mike Farrell, Bob Perlman, and Frank Raposo, our officials here tonight doing a yeoman's job so far from Daytona Beach. Embry Riddle takes it in. Jason Williams to Burrows out on top. There's Maz. So far, we haven't seen a shot from Kyle Maz. And a foul underneath, a pushing foul on number 42, Garfield Johnson. He's in for Sasha Rothstein. Rothstein has had a couple of buckets tonight for St. Thomas.
St. Thomas still, though, playing the type of game that they wanted to play coming into this game, and that is work the ball underneath the basket and get the bucket.
Maz with his first shot, air ball, rebound, blocked away. Pete Stubbs with a shot, rebound by Stubbs, working it underneath, turns and spins and shoots again, no good, but he's fouled.
Look at the play, though, of Pete Stubbs underneath that basket. Precisely what they need to do underneath that to counter St. Thomas's muscle.
Stubbs worked for the rebound. Coach Steve Ritter has said that Pete Stubbs, who missed part of the season, he was ineligible, is an important part of this ball club defensively, but tonight, so far, he's done it on the board for Embry Riddle. His first foul shot up, and nothing but the bottom of the sack. Pete Stubbs. It's his 3rd point tonight. He hit a bucket underneath earlier in a beautiful move. Rothstein back in the lineup now for St. Thomas as Pete Stubbs gets ready for his 2nd foul shot. Up and good.
Stubbs needs to keep that tempo up throughout the entire game for Embry Riddle to really counter St. Thomas.
Coach Steve Ritter, Embry Riddle worried about his foul shooting tonight. So far, he's 100%. St. Thomas on the other end, working the ball around the horn. Coach Ritter said he was going to use this 2-3 zone most of the night tonight. He wanted to see everybody's hands up, make them shoot the 3 with a hand in their face. Shot underneath, no good, and now we're going the other way with Embry Riddle on a wing. Here's Burrows, drive baseline, across court, Kyle Maz, who has yet to hit a bucket from 3. He's got one.
Kyle Maz, the story that we mentioned of this tournament, needs to light it up.
Here's our replay of Kyle Maz. This is something we've seen all tournament long. From nowhere land, 3-point country, he gets a bucket.
He has proven to be one of the top up-and-comers of this conference with a very sweet shot.
The little man, Greg Watts, has the ball again. The field general out here for the Bobcats tonight. Trying to get ball to Collins underneath. Rothstein with 2. And St. Thomas seems to be trying to work that ball inside and use that muscle to get some cheap buckets.
Absolutely, and a big bucket, too, for Rothstein.
Pete Stubbs drives to the foul line, kicks it back out to Burrows. Burrows works it over back to Austin Brownlee. Brownlee, the field general for this team. Back to Kyle Maz. Inside is Williams. Williams trying to work on Rothstein. So far, he hasn't really done much against him. Here's a 3 from Brownlee off the back of the rim. No good. And the ball's going the other way. And here comes St. Thomas. They're picking it up.
Look at the battle underneath, though, between Williams and Rothstein. Great matchup for both teams.
Oh, they're working it hard. His Watts with the 3, and he's got nothing but the bottom of the sack. 2 for 2 from 3-point country. Gregory Watts lighting it up from outside.
Watts only averages 5.7 points a game.
Maz with 3. We've got a 3-point contest going on here. Kyle Maz and Greg Watts. Rothstein underneath. Oh! Blocked. Pete Stubbs with a huge block. Ball on the floor. Rothstein now from about 10 feet away. Hits. Rothstein would not be denied. He got slammed by Pete Stubbs, but got it back and sings it from about 10 feet out. And we've got 16-15 Embry Riddle leading. This is going to be a close and exciting ball game, just what we've been talking about all night long.
And look at the composure, though, of Rothstein, not giving up after that block.
We certainly got a battle underneath. Pete Stubbs. They gave him 3 on that one. I thought he was inside the line, but they said no, he's outside the arch.
And all of a sudden, we're starting to go back and forth with the outside shots, something that we really didn't expect, especially from St. Thomas to keep up with Embry Riddle.
There's a turnover by St. Thomas. Collins couldn't handle a pass from Watts. We've got some questioning swimming on the floor for Embry Riddle. Number 22 checks into the lineup. And Embry Riddle will be going the other direction.
That's Matt Bailey, number 22 for Embry Riddle, 6'3" junior out of Port Orange.
And he's now leading the floor attack for Embry Riddle, taking the place of Austin Brownlee. Pete Stubbs with the ball. Stubbs has had a great night so far. Look at that, running one-hander. Pete Stubbs.
A great drive by Stubbs, taking the St. Thomas defense by surprise, going behind.
Also in the lineup now, in the middle, the man who sparked Embry Riddle last night, Pete Bobcats from Lafayette, Louisiana. The Cajun man plays it tough inside. Here's a shot from Cullen, no good. And here goes Embry Riddle in the other direction. Great save by Burrows. We're coming the other way. Bailey with the ball, brings it near side on a wing. He's got Bobcats wide open underneath. And 2. Pete Bobcats comes in and gets an easy 2 underneath. And Embry Riddle now has built up a 23-15 lead with 11:37 remaining in the first half.
Keith Bobcats has been a great player off the bench for Steve Riddle and the Eagles, averaging 8 points and 3.5 rebounds a game.
Rothstein gets it inside. A good feed. Rothstein gets a basket. It's a bigger battle underneath than I expected tonight. I thought we'd see an outside game from Embry Riddle and an inside game from St. Thomas, but it's been a lot of action both under the hoop and from outside the three-point arc.
And all big men on both sides of the ball answering every time the other big men answer for their respective teams.
Got a foul there on Rothstein. That's his second personal foul. And we have Pete Stubbs going to the line, I believe, tonight. Stubbs is having himself one heck of a night so far. Stubbs with 9 points of Embry Riddle's total of 23, 23-17, just over 11 minutes remaining in the first half.
An amazing pace that we've seen thus far, Sid. Both teams will be interesting to see if they can keep this up.
Stubbs hits the first one. He's 67% in this tourney, 64% for the season. Not too good, but Embry Riddle must have worked on the foul shot. Second shot, no good off the front rim, but they've hit most of them tonight so far.
Embry Riddle, they do have a couple of leaders in free throw. Burrows being one of them, number 7 in the conference, and Jason Williams, 10th in the conference.
Greg Watts still leading the floor attack for St. Thomas. They're looking for an open man. Here's number 32, Randolph with a bucket.
Nice shot by Randolph, just from about 7 feet out, getting the easy bucket for St. Thomas.
Here's a replay. We talked about him in the pregame. Haven't heard his number tonight, but finally he gets one up and in. And there's a shot. Pete Burrows from three-point country, 27-19 now. Embry Riddle leads.
Look
Greg
at that.
Watts. Watts is hot. Somebody get some ice and cool him off.
Outside shot for outside shot. These two teams in quite a duel.
That's 3 threes for Mr. Watts, showing that a little man can play this game. Bobcats working it underneath against Rothstein, no good, and we're going the other way. Fast break. Here's Greg Watts. He's got nobody to beat. He's up. Running one-hander, no good, but he's fouled.
Sid, St. Thomas also is not afraid to run the ball like Embry Riddle.
And look at Greg Watts. Is he fired up or what? The little man came to play tonight for St. Thomas.
Greg Watts, only 5'5" and only a sophomore. He will be something to watch in the next 2 years at St. Thomas, but he's definitely somebody to watch right now for St. Thomas.
100%, 3 for 3 from the line in this tournament. 60% for the season. Up, good. Nothing but the bottom of the sack. Now our storyline so far developing has been the little man, Greg Watts, 9 points tonight. And for Embry Riddle, Pete Stubbs with 13.
And of course, the great play underneath by Sasha Rothstein for St. Thomas also with 11 points.
Second foul shot is up, but we've got a whistle here. And it looks like we're going to get a reshoot. Second foul shot for Greg Watts. He has really done a great job tonight leading the attack for St. Thomas. The Bobcats no good. Bob Bacher the rebound for Embry Riddle. And here we go in the other direction. And we've got a substitution, number 14. Jan Price in the game, played a big part in last night's victory in the lineup, averaging 10 points a game, the sophomore from Indianapolis.
Yeah, against Warner Southern, Price, 5 points and 4 rebounds in 12 minutes. Good game from Price off the bench.
And there's Price now, running one-handers, good, off the glass. He took it to the paint, got the bounce, and it goes in. Here's the replay. Price comes in the game and immediately gets the ball, and there it is, off the glass for 2. And Embry Riddle leads 29-23. Underneath now, St. Thomas, a rebound and a basket. Casey Collins.
Look at Collins coming in, getting the rebound underneath the basket and putting it right up.
That was his first basket tonight. Haven't heard a lot from Casey Collins yet.
Like we said earlier, 36 points for him yesterday against Flagler.
Burroughs drives baseline there, denied the shot. Randolph gets the rebound, and we're going in the other direction. Greg Watts brings it up the floor, near side now on a wing, out on top. Yo-yo's a dribble between his legs. He's really having a hot game. Collins for 3, yes! He played a nylon song from three-point country, his first 3 of the night.
Casey Collins, can he be getting hot now? If so, that could be trouble for Steve Ritter and Embry Riddle.
And St. Thomas needs him to have a big night. 36 points last night, the key to their 85-81 comeback win over Flagler. Jan Price with a shot, no good. Bob Bacher underneath, no good. Ball is loose. Pete Stubbs going to get a shot off the pane, no good. Fight underneath, Jan Price with a bucket. On the offensive boards, Embry Riddle lighting it up.
Anybody and everybody getting the rebound for Embry Riddle. St. Thomas, they've got to box out better.
3-point country for Mr. Collins.
Lo and behold, KC Collins has arrived in this game. Definitely not what Embry Riddle wants.
He shot that one from the team bus. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 31-31 tie. Price with a shot, good.
And look up Price, answering right back for Embry Riddle.
He got open and took the open shot. Coach Steve Ritter has said tonight he wants to use as many fresh legs as he can. It's do or die for both teams. The winner goes on to the national tournament. The loser goes home. There's a shot off the rim. Jan Price with the board. And the foul's going to be called underneath. Randolph on the foul, trying to strip the ball from Jan Price.
Jan Price off the bench, suddenly getting hot for the Eagles. And one thing about the Eagles, they've got a great deep bench that they could go to.
Jan Price will be going to the foul line here for a 1-and-1 situation. 33-31. And they're saying that someone in the stands has been blowing a whistle, and that has been distracting both the players and the referees, and they're asking that whoever's doing that to stop. And some of the fans have responded by whistling on their own.
Well, it hasn't distracted Jan Price for Embry Riddle, and it certainly hasn't distracted KC Collins for St. Thomas.
We've got one whale of a tight ball game here at Embry Riddle. The finals of the Florida Sun Conference Championship. The winner goes to the national tournament. The loser goes home. Embry Riddle last night with a big win over the number 4 team in the country, Warner Southern, to get here. And St. Thomas with a big come from behind victory over Flagler. Jan Price's first foul shot is up and in. And so far, both teams have done pretty good from the charity stripe tonight. A lot better than what they've shown in the regular season. Neither team was really hot from the foul line all season long.
Well, St. Thomas especially, they were not the hot team at all shooting from free throws. Embry Riddle, though, did have 2 in the top 10.
And we've got a break on the floor. Embry Riddle leads this one 35-31. Back in a moment.
Sid, you're a bit...
Back from Daytona Beach, Sid Champagne and Michael Laderman here, 35-31. Embry Riddle leads tonight the finals of the Florida Sun Conference Championship Tournament. The winner goes to the national tournament in Nampa, Idaho. The loser goes home. Both teams tonight, we've seen a great ball game so far. Inside play from both teams and a lot from three-point country as well.
Just a couple of missed outside shots by both teams that they really could have had. Other than that, though, like you said, both teams really hitting the shots.
And here we go. Greg Montez is in the lineup now for the Bobcats, leading the floor general. Anthony Storr also in tonight for the Bobcats. Montez on a wing now, and we've got a whistle called and a foul away from the ball. Anthony Burroughs gets the foul and will be taking it in. St. Thomas not in the bonus yet.
And that's just the first foul called on Burroughs tonight. Montez for St. Thomas, averaging 18 minutes a game. He's a good guy to come in off the bench.
And Coach Steve Ritter earlier today talking to his team about Montez. Doesn't want him to have the open three-point. Wants to keep hands in everyone's face. They've gone to a man-to-man now, it looks like Embry Riddle has. As a shot from Collins, no good, and a rebound by number 40. Titus Dillard in the lineup for Embry Riddle. We're going the other way. Bailey with the ball, brings it across the timeline. Moss for three, no good, just a little bit short. Rebound by Moss. Bobcats dunks it underneath.
What a great play.
Keith Moss.
Kyle Moss tipping it underneath for the easy two.
Watch the replay, look at that dunk. Bobcats dunks it home for Embry Riddle. 37-31, a 6-point lead coming up on the 7-minute mark in this contest. Montez with the ball, far side to Casey Collins. Haven't heard much of his name tonight. Number 42 with a shot, no good. Johnson just short. John Price with the rebound, and here we go the other way. Embry Riddle. Bailey kicks the ball. Moss picks it up and drives baseline. Back to Dillard, little shot off the glass, no good. Rebound. Johnson, we're going the other direction, ladies and gentlemen. St. Thomas picking up the pace. We didn't expect to see this from them against Embry Riddle.
Well, St. Thomas has to stay with Embry Riddle's running game all night long. They're actually doing a very good job, especially when Casey Collins is hit.
And Montez took just a minute to slow it down. He said, fellas, let's slow it down here. He held the ball out on top just for a minute. Drove near side on a wing, a ball out of bounds, but St. Thomas will have the lineup. Number 32 coming back into the lineup, Anthony Randolph.
Montez for St. Thomas, a very good freshman addition. 6-foot guard out of Miami. 4 points against Florida Memorial the other night.
Waiting for the inbound pass under the bucket. St. Thomas out on top. Number 20 with the ball at score. There's Collins with a shot from three-point country. No good. Number 42. Garfield Johnson gets the ball back to Collins, who's going to drive in now. A little dipsy-do move off the paint for two.
And Collins can't make his outside shot his last couple of times down. Decides, let me just bring it inside, and lo and behold, look at what I have here. A nice spinny move underneath and gets the roll.
They expected him to take it from three-point land, and he just blew by the defender and got the bucket here. 37-33, a 4-point game. Good bucket there. Number 22, Matt Bailey with his first 2 points of the night.
Nice touch by Matt Bailey. Had 10 points against Nova Southeastern in the opener. 5 assists yesterday against Warner.
And Embry Riddle appears to have gone back to that zone. There's number 20, Andrew Storr with his first points of the night. He's averaging 8.8 a game. The freshman from Miami, Florida, comes in tonight. 39-35, coming up on 5:40 remaining in the contest. Bailey with the ball in the lane, shoots. Off the glass, off the board, and it's in.
And all of a sudden, yet another weapon that St. Thomas has to worry about from the Embry Riddle side, that being number 22, Matt Bailey, the 6'3 junior guard.
Comes in and gets the roll off the rim, off the glass, and goes in for two. And now we're back the other way with St. Thomas. Andre Storr has the ball out on top. Embry Riddle back in that zone, and it looks like St. Thomas a little befuddled about what they want to do here with the ball. Cullen's going to drive baseline, stop, and a foul call. Jan Price for reaching in, and Collins will go to the line now.
Well, when befuddled, what do you do? Give it to Casey Collins and see what he can make out of it.
Well, he hasn't been able to get that outside shot going for him. He's had a three-pointer tonight. Here's the play. He's going to drive baseline, and Jan Price going to step in front. A blocking foul there. Also reach for the ball. No foul shot. No 1-and-1 yet. Inbound pass, and Collins has got the ball again far side on the wing. Baseline move there, and there's a foul called or no? Yes. Called a charge there, and we're going the other way.
Looks like Anthony Randolph turning the ball over.
And a timeout on the floor. With 5 minutes to go in the game, 41-35, Embry Riddle leading the ball game. We're going to a break. Be back in a moment. Welcome back to Daytona Beach, the championship game of the Florida Sun Conference. 41-35, Embry Riddle leads with 5 minutes to go in the first half. We've had an exciting ball game tonight. We've had a lot of good outside play as well as a physical game underneath from both schools.
Absolutely, and this could pan well into the St. Thomas scheme of things, wanting Embry Riddle to play their physical style. Embry Riddle, though, not shying away whatsoever.
And Embry Riddle about to inbound the ball now. Matt Bailey still on the floor, leading the attack for Embry Riddle. We haven't seen Austin Brownlee now for several minutes. He started the ball game at point guard, but Matt Bailey has taken over those chores. John Price also in the ball game at a guard. Titus Dillard in the game. Keith Bobcats. A lot of subs for Embry Riddle. The only starter on the floor is that man, number 23, Kyle Moss, who's looking to get open for a three-pointer.
We talk about Matt Bailey, too. 7th in the conference in assists with 4 assists per game, yet he's proved he has a great shooting touch today.
Jan Price just inside the three-point land, hits it.
And speaking of shooting touch, Jan Price coming out of nowhere.
Here's a replay. Price gets open just inside the three-point line, and swish-a-roo, he's got 2. 43-35, Embry Riddle leading this game under the 5-minute mark tonight.
10 points for Price.
Inside there's a shot. Garfield Johnson with 2 over Heath Baubacher. And neither team's going to be denied tonight. They both know it's either win or lose.
And both are really hitting their shots from the outside.
There's a steal. Montez gets a steal. He's going to go for the bucket, lays it up, and in.
Great play by Montez for St. Thomas.
Gets the steal and the bucket, and Jan Price careful there not to foul and give him a chance at a three-point play. Here in this ball game, a tight ball game between both schools. We haven't seen a big lead from either school. It's been tight all the way.
And I don't think we're going to, not with the play and the shooting of both teams.
Just a couple of weeks ago, Embry Riddle went to St. Thomas and won by 30 points earlier in the season. St. Thomas came here and beat Embry Riddle at home, so these teams familiar with each other.
And both teams knew that that game at St. Thomas was not indicative.
We've got a timeout on the floor. Just under 4 minutes remaining. We're going to a break. We'll be back in a moment. Back in Daytona Beach for the finals of the Florida Sun Conference men's basketball tournament. Do or die for both schools. The winner goes on to the national tournament at Nampa, Idaho. The loser goes home. And so far, Mike Laderman in here with me to call the play-by-play. Mike, both teams shooting over 50% from the field this evening.
50% for both teams. Casey Collins helping out very much so for St. Thomas on the outside. Really lighting it up. He slowed down a little bit, but he's still able to hit the shot. And, of course, Matt Bailey all of a sudden, and Jan Price for Embry Riddle, lighting it up from outside.
Anthony Barrows back in the game for Embry Riddle. Pete Stubbs out there with Titus Dillard, Jan Price, and number 11, Austin Brownlee, back in the lineup for Embry Riddle. St. Thomas with the ball as Casey Collins out on top. Yo-yo in the dribble. Looking to get maybe a 3 off or dish it off to someone. That's Randolph with the ball, far side on the wing. Anthony Randolph, the junior from Harlem, New York. Garfield Johnson drives to the bucket, and a foul is called.
Nice play, though, by St. Thomas. Working the ball around, finding Johnson, then Johnson taking it into the hole and
drives to the
foul.
bucket, and he got hacked on the arm and hacked on the head, and he's going to go to the charity stripe for 2. Garfield Johnson at the line tonight for St. Thomas. That's Pete Stubbs' first foul. Foul call on Pete Stubbs, who had a hot first 10 minutes of the ball game. Went out, hadn't seen him for a while, but now he's back in. First foul shot by Garfield Johnson is up, uses all of the rim, and it goes in.
St. Thomas needs to be a little better than 50% from the free throw line if they're going to stick with Embry Riddle.
Garfield Johnson's second foul shot tonight. Up and in. Hits nothing but the bottom of the sack that time. And here comes Embry Riddle. 43-41. Embry Riddle on top by 2.
Good points by Johnson there for St. Thomas.
Price with the ball, far side, out on top to Austin Brownlee. Gets it in the corner to Burrows. Inside now, the turnaround jumper by Dillard. No good. And here comes St. Thomas. Fighting for that rebound is Randolph. And Collins is coming the other way with it. And the little man, Greg Watts, the field general for the Bobcats, back in the lineup. And he was lighting it up the first 10 minutes of the ball game.
Yep, and St. Thomas now also trying to slow down the pace of this Embry Riddle offense, and they're doing so.
There's Collins working the ball and looking for the open shot. Dishes it off to Randolph. Baseline move there, and a foul. Pete Stubbs gets called for the blocking foul baseline there.
That's going to be the second one on Stubbs. Embry Riddle cannot afford to have him get in foul trouble early.
And I'm not too sure about that foul. He got bumped by another player, got bumped into Randolph going for the bucket, and Randolph goes to the line. Randolph getting ready for his foul shot. Second foul on Pete Stubbs, who just re-entered the ball game. First shot is up and good. Bottom of the sack there. A change. Number 35 coming into the lineup. That's Alex Carr, a sophomore, averaging about 2 points a game. He's coming in for Garfield Johnson. Both teams using a lot of fresh legs tonight because they know this is going to be a tight ball game to the very end. And they don't want to lose due to fatigue. Second shot up and good by Randolph. And we've got another lineup change. Number 21 coming into the lineup Eric Fernandez comes into the lineup tonight.
Fernandez and Carr for St. Thomas, both guys who give quality backup minutes for the Bobcats. Carr averaging 11 minutes a game, and Fernandez 10 minutes a game.
And Jason Williams back in for Embry Riddle now. Early on, he was working it inside, trying to get the open buckets against Sasha Rothstein. Rothstein still on the bench for St. Thomas. Jan Price working it now to Williams. Cross-court pass. Number 30, Peter Magdalene, tries to get a shot up, but dishes it off to Williams. Back across court, Austin Brownlee. Both teams working the ball outside, looking for the open shot. Price dishes off to Magdalene, throws it away, and we're going quick the other way. Casey Cullens on the break. He was all by himself and had to pull it up, set the offense. He didn't have an open bucket there. Two-on-one break for him.
Not a great pass by Magdalene for Embry Riddle, and St. Thomas now trying to break the 43 all-tie.
Watts has the ball out on top. Embry Riddle back in that zone defense, and St. Thomas looking to either get it inside or get the open three here at Embry Riddle. 43 all in this ball game. Tight underneath number 21. Eric Fernandez gets the bucket underneath along the baseline. He sneaked in and got an open bucket.
And a great pass going underneath to Fernandez. Watch this, right off the backboard, in for the easy two.
Anthony Burrows with the ball, and he loses it. Greg Watts going the other way. It's going to be an easy dunk shot. Oh, he lays it up and in. Number 20, Andre Storr, had nobody back to defend against him. An easy two, Snurburden for two. The great steal by Greg Watts.
Unlike Burrows to lose the ball, and of course Storr right there to bring it all the way down coast to coast for the bucket.
Coming up on the 1 minute mark in the first half. Embry Riddle looking for the bucket. They're now trailing 47-43. St. Thomas has fought back to the lead here at Embry Riddle's gym. Here's Austin Brownlee for three, off the rim, no good. Rebound up and good.
Looky what I found, says Peter Magdalene. In the right place at the right time, and that's good. It might slow the momentum, which Embry Riddle needs, that St. Thomas has right now.
Took the rebound, laid it off the glass, and Greg Watts, the Field Journal's calling for one shot. 47-45. St. Thomas, the Bobcats have played a yeoman's job on the road here, playing for the championship of the Florida Sun Conference. Looking for that final shot, up and in.
Wide open jumper. They left Storr alone, and he's going to take it and put it up, averaging 9 points a game.
And they shot that shot sooner than I thought. I thought they'd wait till about 10 seconds before they made their move. Now Embry Riddle's going to do the same thing. They're going to let the clock run down here as we get near the end of the first half. Austin Brownlee now waiting to get inside 10 seconds before they make their move. Here's Burrows far side on the wing with the ball, and it looks like he's going to lead the offense here for that final bucket. Burrows drives and dishes it off to Brownlee, who's looking to get a shot up. He shoots off the rim, no good. And the ball is Williams. Jan Price at the buzzer. Good. They're going to count it.
Look at that. Jan Price.
Jan Price gets the bucket at the buzzer. I thought he got it off after the buzzer, but no. They say he got it off before the buzzer. Nothing but the bottom of the sack. 2 points for Jan Price. We'll go to a break. Here at Embry Riddle University. Halftime, the Florida Sun Conference Championship. Hi, everybody. Sid Champagne and Mike Laderman in with you tonight for tonight's championship game of the Florida Sun Conference. The winner goes to the national championship game in Nampa, Idaho. Mike, we've had a great first half here tonight. A lot of action.
That first half was a tale of two halves, essentially. Embry Riddle controlling the play the way they wanted to at first. St. Thomas, though, the second half of the first half, they started turning it around, playing the way they wanted to play, and taking the Eagles out of their game.
We've seen a lot of stars in this first half. First, we had Greg Watts lighting it up for St. Thomas. Then we had Rothstein come in and shoot some good buckets for St. Thomas. And on the other side of the ball, we had Embry Riddle with a variety of players. And Jan Price comes in and lights it up for Embry Riddle.
And that's some of the unexpected things that we've seen. Jan Price starting to hit. And what else is unexpected is that Jason Williams, 0 points for Embry Riddle right now at the half. They need him to step up big.
We want to thank our sponsors tonight, Florida Healthcare Plans, Daytona Beach's top-rated commercial health maintenance organization, ranked by member satisfaction as one of the best in the country by the National Research Corporation. We'll be back with some stats and some halftime highlights in just a moment. Hi, everybody. everybody. Sid Champagne in with Michael Laderman here in Daytona Beach, the finals of the Florida Sun Conference Men's Basketball Championship. An exciting contest tonight between Embry Riddle University and St. Thomas, and we've had some great first half action here. Look at this drive by Embry Riddle. Number 11, Austin Brownlee with a bucket here. Embry Riddle early leading the attack.
Absolutely. Not, though, the best of shooting percentages. They came on, though, at the end, hitting 50%, Embry Riddle did. St. Thomas themselves, look at this, 59% from the field of the Bobcats. Fantastic first half, and that's largely in part to the great inside shooting that you see right there.
A lot of stars for both teams, a lot of scoring across the board. Both teams coming in with fresh legs. A lot of physical movement inside, as you saw there. A lot of pounding on the boards from both teams tonight. Coach Steve Ritter was worried that he would get trouble inside, not have the power, but he did.
Well, that physical play is going to bode well, though, for St. Thomas as we get into the second half. They're going to try and wear down Embry Riddle. St. Thomas, they're used to the physical game all year long. If they can keep this up, Embry Riddle could be in trouble.
We'll be back to look at the stats and talk about the second half in just a moment. Florida Sun Conference Men's Basketball Tournament, the championship game. St. Thomas leads 49-47 over the home school, the host school, Embry Riddle. It's been a very exciting ball game. Mike Laderman in with me. Mike, let's take a quick look at the stats. St. Thomas lighting it up, well, 59%.
Very balanced attack, Sid, by St. Thomas. 3 of their starters with 10 points or more. Those being Greg Watts and Casey Collins, both with 10, and Sasha Rothstein with 11.
Both teams doing pretty well from the foul line tonight. Both coaches were worried about their foul shooting coming to this ball game. That could be key down the line, and a few turnovers, but certainly it has been a game not without some mistakes, but it's been pretty well played by both teams.
Well, if this is going to come down to the foul shooting, that favors Embry Riddle. Embry Riddle, again, one of the top teams from the foul line in shooting. St. Thomas not up there.
And in the second half, we're likely to see a lot of players again as both teams want to stay fresh for the last 5 minutes of this ball game. This ball game very well likely will be decided in the last 5 minutes.
And if it is, again, Embry Riddle, they have the great bench that could come in. They have some good players such as Jan Price, who now has 12 points unexpectedly off the bench, 12 at the half. A great bench player to come in. Embry Riddle has more.
The Bobcats and the Eagles going for a bid to the national tournament in Nampa, Idaho. The winner is going to the championship tournament. We'll be back with an exciting second half in just a moment. They are trailing in this ball game, but only by 2 points, 49-47 to the St. Thomas Bobcats, who last night had to come from behind, scratch back, and won on the strength of Casey Collins' 36 points, and we're ready for our second half of action. 20 minutes of ball game left for one team. The other team will go into the national tournament. The victor tonight will go on and have further this season in the national championship in Nampa, Idaho. Waiting for the start now of the second half, and here we go. St. Thomas has the basketball, and Casey Collins in the backcourt brings it across the timeline, and we're underway. Second half of action. Greg Watts now, the field general in the first half, who was hot the first 10 minutes of the ball game. He's got the ball, hands it off to number 14, who dishes it back outside to Watts. Watts yo-yos the dribble between his leg. I love that little move from the little man. We're here live. We're here in Daytona Beach. Shot up, no good. Rebound, Embry Riddle gets the ball. We're going the other direction. Austin Brownlee, the field general, is going to take it coast to coast. Dishes off to Williams. Underneath, shoots up, no good. And foul on Rothstein. Sasha Rothstein gets the foul.
And Williams, one such Eagle that has to get his game in motion. Actually, 4 of the 5 starters of Embry Riddle has to get their game in motion. Only one of those starters, that being Pete Stubbs, is double digits in scoring. Other than that, it's all come off the bench for the Eagles.
Rothstein in a little early foul trouble here in the second half. 3 fouls on Rothstein tonight. Shot up and in by Jason Williams, and Coach Steve Ritter worried about his foul shooting tonight, but so far it's been pretty stellar.
And surprisingly, those are the first 2 points for Jason Williams this game.
Both free throws are in and good, and here we come the other direction. Mike Bellato with the basketball, brings it across the timeline, and Embry Riddle was worried about him getting on the wing and taking the 3, but so far tonight we haven't heard much from Bellato in three-point country. St. Thomas has worked it in underneath all night long with Rothstein, who shoots and it's no good, and a good move there. Knocks it off Kyle Moss, and the ball will go to St. Thomas again.
Very nice heads-up play by Anthony Randolph there to keep the ball going St. Thomas's way.
St. Thomas, a very physical team, likes to play the slow game, bang and clang deep inside, but they've also been able to light it up tonight from three-point country. Embry Riddle has been able to run the ball somewhat, but neither team has the upper hand. We're all tied here beginning the second half of this Florida Sun Conference Championship game. Casey Collins from three-point country. No good. Tips out. Rebounds. Going to go. Mike Bellato gets it in the backcourt. Not an over and back call.
Things really seemingly starting to go St. Thomas's way, starting from 8 minutes to go left in the first half to now into the second half.
And there is the field general, Greg Watts, with the ball. Dishes it off inside the Rothstein. Back out to Watts. Going to shoot a three over everybody. A little short. Gets his own rebound, though. And he's going to drive into the land of giants. A little man shoots. Running one-hander. No good.
Oh, that would have been sweet for Watts. Everything else seemingly going their way. Why not this? Unfortunately, no.
We're going the other direction. A travel called on Watts, and we're going the other way. Embry Riddle, Austin Brownlee back in the game. He started at the point guard spot, but he went out early, and now he's back in here as we start the second half. Kyle Miles on the rebound, no good. Rothstein clears the boards for St. Thomas. The Bobcats now coming the other direction. Watts out on a wing to Bellato. Bellato yogas the dribble and hands it back to the field general, and St. Thomas looks like they want to slow this game down just a bit.
They're going to have to. Both teams really missing their shots. We spoke about the high field goal percentage in the first half. Neither team doing very well in the second half.
Rothstein down now off the glass, took the window pane, got the baby roll, and he's in for two.
And finally something to roll for one of the teams, that being Rothstein at St. Thomas. Good
got
move.
It inside, used the window pane, and got all over the rim for 2 points here. Embry Riddle. Pete Stubbs is no good on his shot. Randolph gets the rebound. Oh, Stubbs almost stole it away, but Greg Watts picks it up for St. Thomas. The Bobcats back now on the attack, leading by 2. Casey Collins with a nifty running one-hander, no good. Kyle Moss gets the rebound.
Both teams have to start making these easy baskets.
And here's Brownlee's going to take it up and good. Took it through the lane. The little baby jumper, and he's got 2 points, 51-51.
Good look for Brownlee there, driving inside and taking the shot from 5 feet away.
And St. Thomas again goes to their slowdown mode. Bellato trying to get a 3 out on the wing, but Coach Steve Ritter said he wanted to stop that tonight by getting a hand up in his face. Here's a shot off the baseline from Randolph, no good. And here comes Embry Riddle, and here comes that man, number 5, in all-conference selection. Anthony Burrows dishes it out to Brownlee, who takes a 3, top of the key, no good. And Pete Stubbs gets the rebound, ball tipped away, but a foul called, and Casey Collins is going to get the foul, and Embry Riddle will keep the ball.
Both teams coming up with very big offensive rebounds on both ends of the floor.
Both coaches certainly have to be happy with what they've seen so far. Neither team really has had the upper hand. A seesaw battle for both teams. Coach Steve Ritter in his 9th season at Embry Riddle, and Coach Bill Sullivan doing a yeoman's job his first year at St. Thomas. Sasha Rothstein checks out. Garfield Johnson checks in. Rothstein with 3 fouls on the night. He'll sit out for a while. Here's Austin Brownlee dishes it off wide open. Pete Stubbs gets the baby bucket underneath. Anthony Randolph not happy that Pete Stubbs got open. Pete Stubbs tonight, ladies and gentlemen, got 15 points. The leading scorer for Embry Riddle so far tonight in our story. And Stubbs strips the ball away, and Embry Riddle has it. There's a fight for the ball. A tie ball. Possession arrow goes to St. Thomas.
And look at the feisty play of Embry Riddle and Pete Stubbs. And that actually Anthony Burrows making the big play on the floor for Embry Riddle.
We've got a timeout on the floor here. 16:37 remaining. 53-51. Embry Riddle leading here. Florida Sun Conference Championship. And both coaches are going to strategize. And we're going to go to a break. Be back in a moment. Well, we're going to stay here. The action about to start back. Timeout over. Both teams heading back to the floor. 53-51, Embry Riddle leads, just under 17 minutes remaining in the contest, and the winner goes on to the national championship tournament in Nampa, Idaho. The loser goes home. Both teams said they don't care where they were seated, they just want to get to that championship tournament.
And you know, Embry Riddle, they started out being the running gun team here in this game. It looks like now this second half they're trying to work the ball around a little bit better, and they can do that too.
Kyle Moss has averaged over 22 points a game in this tournament. Really haven't heard a lot from Kyle Moss tonight. Foul is called, and Embry Riddle will keep the ball. Kyle Miles will be on the inbound pass.
Well, Maz, 2 fouls. He wants to light it up a little bit more. 2 of 4 in the first half shooting. They're going to need his touch if Embry Riddle's going to break through here.
And here's a replay. Kyle Moss trying to drive to the bucket and then get stripped and foul there. And now back to live action. Jason Williams fighting off the board. Good move. Power move from Williams. And that's 2.
Look at Williams fighting inside against St. Thomas's muscle, getting the good bucket for the Eagles.
4-point lead now for Embry Riddle after trailing at halftime by 2. Casey Collins now driving and dishes it out. Ball is tipped and picked up by Watts. Near side on the wing is Randolph. Back on top to Watts. Far side on the wing is Collins from three-point country. Off the far side of the rim and no good. Collins gets his own rebound. He's going to drive to the glass. Running one-hander. It's good. And I'm surprised they didn't call basket interference. His hand hit the basket before the ball went in, but they're going to count it 2 points for Casey Collins.
Absolutely. Lucky break for the Bobcats of St. Thomas.
Collins with 12 points tonight in the contest for St. Thomas. Pete Stubbs now with the ball out on top, and he's stripped. And here goes that man, Casey Collins. He's going to have an easy 2. What is this? Oh, no! What was that?
Big mistake by Casey Collins.
Watts for 3, dishes it in.
And you know what? Thank God for Greg Watts making up for Collins' mistake. You have to make that basket. Take it all the way in.
Anthony Burrows on the other end answers with 3. The all-conference performer for Embry Riddle answers that bucket by Greg Watts. And watch it. He's going to stop, pump, and he hits the 3-pointer for Embry Riddle. Nothing but the bottom of the sack. We're tied now at 58. Bucket by Garfield Johnson, and we're picking up the pace here at Embry Riddle. The fast-paced game. 3-point shot by Austin Brownlee. Out, no good. Randolph gets the rebound for St. Thomas. Off to Casey Collins, and we're coming the other direction. And Mike Mulatto was open and wanted the ball for a 3 on the wing. Calling for it. Now he's got it. Back on top to Watts. Casey Collins, far side on the wing. Pete Stubbs in his face. Stubbs, the defensive specialist. Lets Collins go by, but no shot. We've got a timeout on the floor. 58-58. We'll be back in a moment. Back in Daytona Beach, 58-58, Embry Riddle University, St. Thomas University fighting for the championship of the Florida Sun Conference. And we've had a great ball game tonight. Mike Laderman is with me tonight. Mike, this certainly has been all we expected from both schools.
Absolutely, and like you said, the pace of the game really picking up a little bit. Would have been really good if Casey Collins could have finished the play a little bit, but Greg Watts, like we said, making it happen for St. Thomas, hitting the big 3, and Embry Riddle coming right back down, and they're hitting the 3-pointer. So the pace of the game, very high tempo. Who does this favor? It could go either way.
This is the kind of game that Embry Riddle wanted to play. St. Thomas wanted a slower, more physical ball game. St. Thomas with the ball. Mike Mulatto's going to inbound it far out on top now. Greg Watts yo-yos the dribble. Characteristic move of his between the legs. The field general for St. Thomas dishes it off to Garfield Johnson. Back on top to Watts. Watts leading the offense here for St. Thomas. He's going to take a 3 from nowhere. Land and hits.
Hello, Greg Watts.
Oh, my God, from the locker room. He's loving it in 3-point country.
And a fantastic touch by Watts that he's showing here tonight.
Oh, my goodness. From nowhere. A long 3. Austin Brownlee's trying to answer now. Off the rim, no good. And the little man, Greg Watts, gets the rebound. And on the fast break, here comes St. Thomas. There's Randolph with a 10-foot jumper. No good off the back of the rim. Pete Watts gets the rebound for Embry Riddle. Austin Brownlee's got it now on the outlet pass. And here we come the other direction. It's coast to coast. A track meet from both schools. Underneath, Brownlee with the shot off the glass is good.
Great play by Brownlee. First on the other trip down the court, he misses the jumper. Makes up for it here on this trip down by Embry Riddle.
And we've got NBA-style basketball here tonight. Both teams are pumping it up and down the floor here in the second half.
Definitely entertaining basketball here at Embry Riddle.
Embry Riddle staying in that zone, 2-3 zone. They want to keep a hand in the face of everybody who takes a 3 for St. Thomas. Last night, Warner Southern only 7 for 31 from 3-point country, and that was because of Embry Riddle's staunchy defense. Casey Collins, far side, drives baseline. Ball is tipped away off an Embry Riddle player, and St. Thomas will keep the ball.
And speaking of staunchy defense, it's plays like that which frustrates opponents of Embry Riddle.
Got open baseline. It was knocked away by Pete Stubbs, but it was off an Embry Riddle player. And St. Thomas keeps the ball. Casey Cullens to inbound it now out under the basket. And there's Garfield Johnson with a shot up and no good. A wild shot from Johnson.
Very.
Stubbs gets the rebound. Here comes Matt Bailey in now as the floor general for Embry Riddle. Here's Kyle Moss, short on the three, hits the rim. Rebound up by Williams, no good. Out of bounds. Burrows gets the rebound, but it's knocked down. Embry Riddle keeps the ball.
Williams underneath the basket. Could have gotten the tip, but I'll tell you, we're seeing a great matchup between Williams and Johnson for both Embry Riddle and St. Thomas. These two big men fighting underneath for every loose ball.
And there is a foul called, a reach-in foul, and it looks like it's going to go against Little Watts. The floor general gets the foul, and Embry Riddle will get the basketball out under the basket. Kyle Moss to inbound it for Embry Riddle. 61-60, St. Thomas leading a very close and exciting ball game. Anthony Burrows, a double dip move, no good. Gets the rebound, fights for the bucket, shoots, good if it goes, no good. And he'll be going to the line.
Look at Burrows, though, fighting underneath for everything. Misses the shot, grabs the board, and goes straight back up for the Eagles.
And he'll be going to the line tonight. 4 fouls on Casey Cullens, if we've got that right, yes. 4 fouls on the star for Embry Riddle, and now we'll see if Coach Bill Sullivan will pull him or let him play. He's a needed asset here for St. Thomas. This could be big in our storyline tonight of this ball game if Casey Cullens fouls out anytime soon.
Absolutely. Not good news for Bill Sullivan and the rest of the Bobcats. They need Casey on the court making the baskets, not sitting on the bench.
And you can see the coaching staff for St. Thomas wondering what they're going to do, if they're going to pull Casey Cullens out or leave him in the ball game.
Well, this is a tough decision. Only 12:38 left to go in the game.
And Greg Watts is saying, hey, foul's on me, fellas, and the referees are discussing it. Casey Cullens does not want to be stuck with a 4th foul. Coach Bill Sullivan saying, hey, it was Greg Watts. And Greg Watts saying, it's me, it's me. And Casey Cullens arguing the point that he didn't get the foul.
Arguing, though, to no avail. This one is going to go to Cullens, it looks like.
We've got a break in the action, a timeout with 12:38 remaining, 61-60. We'll be back in Daytona Beach in just a moment. Back in Daytona Beach, where St. Thomas, the Bobcats lead 61-60 over the Embry Riddle Eagles. The Florida Sun Conference Championship game, postseason tournament here. Anthony Burrows, an all-conference selection at the line for Embry Riddle. And yes, while we're away, the foul will be to Casey Cullens. That's his 4th foul of the night.
And not good news for the Bobcats. Casey Cullens, 11th in scoring in the Florida Sun Conference. They cannot afford to lose him, Sid.
He's on the beach. Burrows hits the 2nd foul shot. We've got a tie score, 61 all here from Daytona Beach. And look at this press now. Embry Riddle goes to a press. Ball tipped away by Matt Bailey and out of bounds.
Almost
Didn't expect
working.
to see that from Embry Riddle tonight.
Very nice play by Matt Bailey for Embry Riddle. And it looks like they want to keep the pace of this game real quick. They want that ball back to get in their transition game.
And a man-to-man and a press from Embry Riddle, and this is something we didn't expect to see out of that zone defense. Pete Stubbs, the defensive specialist, steals the pass. Matt Bailey on the outlet, dishes it across, baseline move. Oh! They're calling goaltending. Anthony Burrows gets the bucket. Beautiful bounce pass inside there.
What a play on all ends of the court by Embry Riddle. First on the defensive side, getting the steal, and then Burrows all the way down, getting credit for the points thanks to the goaltending.
Beautiful, beautiful pass across the lane. And Embry Riddle pressing the attack now defensively against St. Thomas, and St. Thomas didn't expect to see this. There's a 2-pointer. Garfield Johnson hits the 2. 63-all tie ball game under the 12-minute mark here. A steal by St. Thomas. Greg Watts has got one man to beat. That's Pete Stubbs. Going to stop and pump the 3 off the back of the rim. No good. I'm surprised he took that shot.
Well, they could have had a 2-on-1 break, and actually they did, but Watts decides to pull up and try and take the open jumper that does not fall.
St. Thomas will have the ball out of bounds here. 11:48 remaining in the ball game. 63-all. Here in Daytona Beach, the finals, the championship game of the Florida Sun Conference. The winner goes on to the national championship tournament, as does the regular season champion Warner Southern, the 4th-ranked team in the country, which was upset last night by Embry Riddle. They've already got an at-large bid to the tournament, so the Florida Sun Conference will have 2 teams in the national tournament this year.
Absolutely, and Warner Southern, knowing that they had the bid before yesterday's game against Embry Riddle, not to take anything away from Embry Riddle, though. The Eagles played their game, and they handed it to Warner Southern, 81-73. Perfect game.
Embry Riddle was able last night to shut down Josh Hall in the second half. And so far in the second half, they've cooled off Casey Cullins a little bit tonight. And Cullins also in foul trouble and on the bench with 4 fouls. St. Thomas with the ball. Bellato out on top. That is Montez with the ball. Dishing it off. Inside move. Andre Storr with 2 points. And St. Thomas takes the lead 65-63.
Great ball movement by the Bobcats, sort of taking a page out of the Embry Riddle playbook.
Fresh legs on the floor for St. Thomas. They try to keep everybody fresh. Inside move. Rebound is up and good by Williams. Jason Williams gets the rebound off the Pete Stubbs miss, and we're tied at 65.
And there was the battle again underneath between Williams for Embry Riddle and Johnson for St. Thomas.
Storr with the ball, four-side on the wing. Montez now the floor general for the Bobcats. He stops the dribble and dishes off to Bellato, who still hasn't been able to get off a 3 from that wing position. Embry Riddle back, and it's on, and the ball is off. Rothstein out of bounds. We're going the other way. Embry Riddle Eagles have the ball.
Not a great heads-up play by St. Thomas. Bellato losing the ball, trying to bounce pass it over to Rothstein. Just couldn't get a hold of it. So this one's going to go back towards Embry Riddle.
Bailey with the ball in the backcourt, brings the dribble across the timeline for Embry Riddle, dishes it off to Anthony Burrows, and Montez reaches in the foul. Montez trying to make something happen, reaches in and gets the foul, and it'll be out of bounds right here just in front of our broadcast position. Kyle Mays should be inbounding it. Mays has had a great tournament here, averaging over 22 points per game in this tournament for Embry Riddle. The freshman out of Coral Springs certainly has had a great tournament thus far. Pete Stubbs now has it in the foul lane. He's going to turn, spin, running two-hander, no good. Rebound now by St. Thomas, and we're going the other way.
Big rebound by Storr.
Off to Montez, to Bellato, back to Montez. Turn around, Garfield Johnson shot, no good off the side of the rim. Pete Stubbs, he's played a great game tonight on the boards and offensively for Embry Riddle, and he's got the ball, looking to drive, and he does inside, and it's going to be called with a charging.
Good call by the official. Stubbs putting his shoulder down. Here you see it on the replay, and down to the floor goes Garfield Johnson for St. Thomas. Good call by
the senior from Lithonia, Georgia. He's a licensed pilot. He's had a great game tonight for Embry Riddle. He's going to take a break. As is Kyle Moss, new legs on the floor. Titus Dilliard in, as is John Price, and Price lit it up in the first half for Embry Riddle.
Price going to be called upon again here in the second half for the Eagles.
Montez brings the dribble across the timeline. Storr, baseline move, dishes off to Rothstein. Ball stripped away and out of bounds. Embry Riddle with the D, down deep. Rothstein stripped of the ball, but it'll still be St. Thomas's ball under the basket, and number 14, Mike Bellato, will inbound it, and he'll get it out to Rothstein. Rothstein out on top to Montez, the floor general here. Greg Watts sitting the bench, getting a rest, and Montez has taken over the offensive charge of leading the offense for St. Thomas. Montez has the ball, Storr on a wing, looking to take the 3, has a notion, but doesn't take it. Back to Montez, makes a move inside to Bellato baseline, who drives inside, tries to get it to Rothstein, stolen away by Embry Riddle, and here we go, Matt Bailey running it up the floor across the timeline. He's got a notion to take the 3, but doesn't, dishes it off in the lane. Burrows gets the open shot, he missed it. Open shot, Burrows hurt it a little bit, missed it. Andre Storr with the rebound. Montez in the other direction, drives baseline, off the rim, no good, his own rebound, and he's fouled.
Solid back and forth play by both teams here. Unfortunately, nobody hitting the bucket.
Heath Fabacher gets the foul. And what a move. Montez comes into the land of giants, misses a shot off the rim, gets the rebound, goes up again, and Fabacher gets the foul. And Montez goes to the line tonight.
You have George Montez, a 6-foot guard, going up against 6'8" Heath Fabacher.
Off the back of the rim, and no good from Montez. Montez, 64% for the season from the foul line. Not what you want out of your point guard. You really need a good 75% or more from Montez from the foul line, but both coaches were worried about that foul shooting. Done pretty good tonight, though. Montez with a second try at it. The freshman from Miami, second shot up, uses the whole rim, but doesn't go in, and Fabacher gets the rebound for Embry Riddle.
Well, unfortunately for St. Thomas, they've done it all year without making the free throws. Not a great free throw shooting team. It could come down to this. They're going to have to try and find another way to pull out the victory.
Kyle Moss for 3. but St. Thomas still has it. Johnson made his presence known on the board there, came leaping in for the rebound. Montez, the field general, will inbound it to Andre Storr. Montez, a freshman, leading the attack tonight for St. Thomas.
And a fantastic rebound by Garfield Johnson. He had 5 boards last night in the semifinal victory over Flagler. He needs to come out a little bit more.
Storr now, baseline move, double team there, and gets it back out to Montez, going into the land of John, stitches it off to Storr. Great move. Montez with a beautiful pass. Storr off the glass.
A fantastic play by the Bobcats, and that gives them the 2-point lead.
The little men came into the land of giants and came away with 2 off the glass. Bobbacher now in the shoots, and they're going to call him for traveling. And Coach Steve Ritter is not happy with that. He had the opening shot, but he traveled underneath, and St. Thomas has the ball and the lead, 67-65, 8:36 remaining in the contest. The Bobcats won here in the regular season in a tight ball game. A couple of weeks ago, they got blown out at home by Embry Riddle.
Yeah, and both teams trying to find the niche that worked for them in the previous game. Right now, though, everything's going the same exact way for both teams, so it seems nobody able to gain that little step advantage.
Embry Riddle now back to that zone defense. Andre Storr with the dribble, hashes it off to Montez. Has a shot by Randolph off the back of the rim and no good. Rebound fought for and picked up by Bailey. Here comes Embry Riddle. They're going to run it up the floor. Bailey far side on the wing, looking to drive, baseline stops, has a notion, takes the shot off the rim and no good. And a foul is going to be called over the back and going in the other direction.
And both teams struggling to find the shooting touch all of a sudden. They had it for the most part in the first half. Here in the second, not at all.
And we've got a timeout on the floor. 7:58 remaining. Embry Riddle behind, 67-65. The Bobcats on top. We'll be back in just a moment. In Daytona Beach, 67-65. The St. Thomas Bobcats lead this ball game with just under 8 minutes remaining. The finals, the championship game of the Florida Sun Conference. The winner going on to the national tournament in Nampa, Idaho. The loser going home. Mike Laderman in with me for the final 8 minutes of this game. Mike, it has been a great ball game. Give and take by both teams. Neither team has been willing to yield the lead. 67-65, a tight ball game, exactly what we expected.
And 2 keys that we're going to have to watch out for here in the final 8 minutes. When is Kyle Moss going to start getting hot for Embry Riddle? And will Casey Collins get going and off the bench for St. Thomas?
Montez still on the point for the Bobcats. Andre Storr also still in at the off-guard position. Bellato in as a guard. Montez back at the ball. Bellato finally gets a 3 up. Back of the rim. No good. Rebound fought for. Long rebound. Here comes Bailey. He's got a break, but he has no one back to help him. He's going to slow it up. No, he spins and shoots. Good if it goes. It's gone. No. Traveling. We're going the other direction.
Would have been a sweet play by Bailey. Nonetheless, caught up in his own moves a little bit.
Bailey had no one back to help, but decided he was going to take it himself. Took the spin move, got the bucket, but no. He traveled before it was in, and we're going the other way. Bobcats have the ball. Montez still into the field general. The Bobcats still have a 2-point lead, 67-65, 7:20 remaining in this contest. Montez out on top with the ball at the foul line now. There's Storr, has a notion for a 3, but doesn't take it. Back to Montez. Has a notion and takes a long 3 off the rim and no good. And there's Randolph on the inside move, blocked. Titus Dillon says, get out of here with that. Bellato has a notion for a 3. He's going to drive in baseline, shoots, running one-hander, no good. Rebound. Titus Dillon making his presence known on the boards with a block and then a big board. We're the other way now. Kyle Moss dishes it off to Dillard. Far side on the wing. Here's a shot. Bailey for 3 for Embry Riddle.
A big bucket by Matt Bailey from 3-point land, and giving the Eagles a 68-67 advantage. That could be a key bucket here, giving the Eagles some momentum while St. Thomas is starting to struggle from making anything from the field.
That sparked the home crowd here at Embry Riddle. The big 3 from Matt Bailey. Bellato on a wing. Out on top to Montez. We're going to have Casey Collins. Looks like he's about to check in back into the lineup. Ball is tipped away and stolen. Dilliers tipped it away, and Price has the ball. They bring it up the floor. He's going to take it coast to coast. Double pump move. Blocked from behind by Rothstein. The Bobcats have the ball back. Montez cross-court move. Randolph with a shot and good off the glass.
And that one started with a great defensive play by Rothstein and ending with Randolph with the good layup. Great transition game by St. Thomas.
Fresh legs about to check in for both teams. The next time we have a foul or a ball out, Watts is coming back in. Collins is coming back in. Shot good. Bailey for 3 again. Laderman wing, dribbles between his legs, thinks better of it, gives it off to Andre Stewart, the foul line, hits.
And all of a sudden, both teams starting to make the shots that they were not making before.
And Coach Bill Sullivan is happy. A timeout on the floor, less than 5 minutes to go. We're going to stay here, 74-71. The visitor, the St. Thomas Bobcats, the number 2 seed in this tournament, leading the host team, Embry Riddle, 74-71. We've had a great ball game and a lot of action here in the last 3 minutes from three-point country. They've been lighting it up.
Mike Bellotto going 35 minutes without taking a basket. He's had good looks all night long from the three-point range. He finally hits a big three-point shot by St. Thomas. And lo and behold, the visitors up 74-71.
Coach Bill Sullivan there talking to his charges, the St. Thomas Bobcats. Sullivan, a yeoman's job in his first season, has reached the finals of this tournament. He has beaten
However, we still need Kyle Moss to get hot for the Eagles. When is that going to happen?
Casey Collins appears to be checking back into the lineup along with Greg Watts down the stretch here for St. Thomas. Embry Riddle comes out with Stubbs, Moss, Bailey, Burrows, and Dillard on the floor for Embry Riddle. Jason Williams on the bench, as is Keith Baubacher for Embry Riddle. Embry Riddle going with a smaller and quicker lineup right now. Stubbs inside, post up, no good. Ball is out, and Greg Watts gets the rebound, and we're going the other way. The Bobcats have the lead in the basketball inside 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the contest, and a bucket here would certainly be good for the Bobcats, would extend their lead a little bit against Embry Riddle. Embry Riddle hoping for the stop and the basketball. Coming up on 4:20 in the ball game. Watts out on top. They're going to take their time, look for the open shot, score with the 3, and he's way short. Rebound. Titus Dillard gets it. And what do we have? A foul called? Yes. A foul looks like it's going to be on number 42, Garfield Johnson.
And I don't think that's the type of shot or the type of play that St. Thomas coach Bill Sullivan is looking for. St. Thomas wants to work the ball around and get the ball inside where they can out-muscle Embry Riddle.
Embry Riddle has the ball now, inbounding it underneath Pete Stubbs, who has played a great game for Embry Riddle. Matt Bailey has the ball now, brings it across the timeline. He's going to take the jump shot and gets it.
And Matt Bailey starting to get hot for the Eagles. Perfect time, too.
Off-balance jumper, watch this. From the foul lane, off-balance, and gets the back of the rim, the baby roll off the rim and in the hole. And it's 74-73, Embry Riddle down by 1 to the Bobcats, who played a yeoman game here on the road. And a foul called. Foul called. Titus Dillard gets the foul. Mike Bellotto checking back in. We'll be going to a break. Timeout on the floor. Back in a moment. Back in Daytona Beach, the crowd is rocking here. The finals, the championship game of the Florida Sun Conference. The host school, Embry Riddle, in the finals, trailing by 1 to the St. Thomas Bobcats. The Bobcats, the number 2 seed in this tournament by virtue of a tiebreaker. Coach Bill Sullivan, in his first year, hoping to walk away tonight with the championship of this tournament. Steve Ritter, in his 9th year, hoping also to take the crown and return to the national championship in Nampa, Idaho. Both teams back on the floor now.
And we've seen both teams, their field goal percentage going down. The Eagles of Embry Riddle just shooting 36% here in the second half, while St. Thomas not much better at 37%.
Casey Collins to inbound the ball underneath the basket for the Bobcats. Looking to get it inbounds, dishes it way out. Oh, over and back! Over and back, and they didn't call it. Referee says no, over and back, and Steve Ritter is hot.
And that is a big break for the Bobcats. Now let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Ref saying that one of the Embry Riddle players touched the ball and there was no over and back situation. Watts has got the ball and dishes it off to Collins, who stops, pops off the rim, no good. Miles gets the rebound. Here comes Embry Riddle on the fast break. All conference selection, Anthony Burrows with the ball, spin move, and he's fouled.
Big
32.
rebound. Very big
Anthony
rebound.
Randolph there gets the foul.
Sorry, Sid. Big rebound by Kyle Moss, a 6'5" freshman underneath, which started the play for Embry Riddle, coming back the other way.
And Steve Ritter is still talking to the officials about that over and back situation. And the official explaining it to him as we get ready for a foul shot here. Burrows at the line now tonight. Burrows in this ball game with 10 points. Shot is up. Nothing but the bottom of the sack. We've got a tie ball game, just what we expected. Mike Laderman late here. 3:18 remaining. It's all even up.
Anthony Burrows could be a key. Maybe not from the field, but from the free throw line. As I say it, he misses.
Off the back of the rim, and Watts gets the rebound, and here we go. Watts brings the dribble across the timeline. Rothstein about to check back in for St. Thomas. In underneath, Bellato has the ball out on the wing. Watts now. Far side to Collins, who has to be careful. He's got 4 fouls, drives baseline, puts up the jumper over Titus Dilliard, and gets it. Dilliard looking for the swat, but Casey Collins got it up over the block shot specialist. It's 2 points for the Bobcats, and they lead 76-74 in every bucket, every possession. Crucial here as we enter the final 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the ball game. Pete Stubbs, baseline move.
A great play underneath by Pete Stubbs, which answers a great play on the other end by Casey Collins, who had a sweet touch.
Greg Watts brings the dribble across the timeline, between his legs, dishes off to back to Watts. Casey Collins now baseline move to Randolph cross court. Bellato shoots the 3 and hits.
Another great look by Mike Bellato, and yet another great three-pointer by Mike Bellato.
Bellato has been looking for the 3 from the wing all night long, and he gets one. I believe that is the second 3 of this half, and Bellato is screaming and telling his teammates, let's do this. Shot up, off the rim, bounces in.
Look at Matt getting the rolls any which way he can.
79-78. Embry Riddle trails the St. Thomas Bobcats here by 1. The Bobcats looking to defend their champion here in this Florida Sun Conference tournament. Last year's tournament champions. Coach Bill Sullivan looking to retain the crown his first year at St. Thomas. Bellato with the ball wide move. Pass it across court to Collins. Doesn't have the open jumper, but looking to make a baseline move. Ditches the pass inside, shot up, and if it goes, no good, and a foul.
Nice play by Collins, dishing off to Johnson to draw the foul.
Johnson had the shot, good if it would have gone, but no good. Johnson will go to the line tonight for St. Thomas. They're leading by 1. Johnson this season has shot 69% from the foul line. In this tournament, he's shooting 55%. 6 of 11 so far in this tournament. Embry Riddle now talking it over here with 1:34 remaining and trailing by 1. As Garfield Johnson, the senior from Miami, 6'5" senior, goes to the line. Pete Stubbs now checking out of the lineup.
Well, coming in, you have the big man over for Embry Riddle. Rookie, Jason Williams, veteran back in.
And Pete Stubbs is out, and I'm not sure if that's his 5th foul, if he's out for the night or not. With 1 minute and 34 remaining.
Garfield Johnson at the line.
Garfield Johnson at the line.
Key matchup now in the last minute and a half. Williams against Johnson, underneath, fighting for every rebound.
The senior from Miami shoots. He hits it, bottom of the sack. Only 55% in this tournament, but that one was no doubt. Rothstein now checking back into the lineup for St. Thomas. The man underneath provides a lot of power for the Bobcats, and he's back in here for rebounding and defensive purposes with 1:34 remaining. Garfield Johnson with his second foul shot. A 2-point lead, and now it's extended to 3 for the Bobcats.
Big free throws made by Garfield Johnson.
And here comes Embry Riddle. Matt Bailey leading the offense, 81-78 with 1:30 remaining in the contest. Bailey with the dribble out on top, looking for an open man, comes near side now on a wing, dishes it off to Burrows underneath. Burrows goes for the shot, blocked away, and a foul called on Rothstein. And I believe that's his 4th foul tonight.
Burrows, very good job of going underneath and drawing the foul. Here you see it. Dipping in a little bit into Sasha Rothstein, but Rothstein nicks him on the arm, and Burrows will go to the line.
Burrows going the line for 2 shots, trailing by 3, with 1:17 remaining. Shot up, nothing. To the bottom of the sack for the all-conference player. The senior from Savannah, Georgia, averaging 19 points a game for Embry Riddle tonight. So far, he has 11.
Anthony Burrows, almost a 77% shooter from the free throw line. Key.
Pete McGlinner checking back in the lineup now for Embry Riddle. Out goes Jason Williams. Embry Riddle going with a smaller and quicker lineup here in the final 1:17. Shot is up and good by Burrows. Embry Riddle trails by 1, 81-80. Here comes St. Thomas. point. Mike, what can we see here from Embry Riddle? Are they going to try to get it inside for a 2, dish it out to Moz for a 3? What can we see here?
Well, I think Matt Bailey is definitely going to have to be the go-to guy. Him and Kyle Moss, of course. Kyle Moss right now, only 6 points. He is still a threat. You cannot forget about the freshman sensation out of Coral Springs.
Looks like an extra one.
He has 13 points. They're going to go to one of those guys. Burrows has been driving very well. Matt Bailey hit the outside shot. They could go to either one of those.
Championship of the Florida Sun Conference on the line tonight. Embry Riddle, the host school here by virtue of beating the number 4 team in the country. Warner Southern last night in a very hot and quick-paced ball game. St. Thomas came back from an 11-point deficit with 7 minutes to go. It beats Flagler 85-81. Rothstein on the court, Pilato on the court, Collins on the court, Watts on the court, and Johnson on the court for St. Thomas. For Embry Riddle, Burroughs, Bailey, Dilliard, Moz, and the 5th player is Jason Williams.
And for St. Thomas, Rothstein and Johnson are key here.
And Randolph wants to check in, but the referee says no, not now. Burroughs inbounds to Bailey. He'll be leading the attack for Embry Riddle with just coming up on the 52nd mark in this ball game. Embry Riddle trailing 81-80. The Bobcats of St. Thomas leading, trying to defend their tournament championship. Bailey out, looks for a 3-pointer, but he's not going to take it. Yes, he is, from 3-point country. It's good!
Oh my, look at Matt Bailey. A good shot from 3-point range. He had a look from the left side, then decided not to take it. He said, why not? I will put it up after all. Lo and behold, the big bucket.
Timeout by St. Thomas with 31 seconds remaining on the clock. 83-81. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at Embry Riddle University, the University Fieldhouse, the championship of the Florida Sun Conference Tournament at stake. The host school, Embry Riddle, the 4th seed in this tournament, is leading 83-81. Matt Bailey just hit a big 3 to put him up by 2. St. Thomas, the Bobcats from Miami, are hoping to defend their conference championship. Mike Laderman in with me here to call the final 31 seconds of this game. Mike, what are the Bobcats going to do here?
Well, they've got to go to their bread and butter. They have got to get the ball inside for an easy 2 underneath if they can, trying to out-muscle Embry Riddle, or get a nice wide-open jumper if they can. They have Greg Watts, they have Casey Collins, and they have Sasha Rothstein, all that have put up the numbers this game. They're going to have to do it one more time to get the tie and maybe to get the win.
Mike Pilato inbound the ball to Greg Watts, who's done a very good job of leading the offense tonight for the Bobcats. Casey Collins on a wing, back on top to Watts now, coming up on the 22nd mark. Pilato with the ball, baseline now to Randolph, back on top. Watts gets it on the wing to Collins for 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound, Randolph, stops, shoots, no good. Rebound, off Embry Riddle, out of bounds. St. Thomas's ball. No! They say it was tipped by a St. Thomas player, and we're going the other way, and St. Thomas is not happy. Timeout. Embry Riddle takes a timeout here. We're going to stay here for the final 11 seconds of this ball game. I thought that the ball was out on Embry Riddle, but they say a St. Thomas player touched the ball, and Embry Riddle has the ball in the lead, 83-81, with just 11 seconds of the clock remaining to tick off here in this championship game of the Florida Sun Conference. Mike, I assume now that the Bobcats are going to have to foul immediately.
Well, they've got to foul right away and put Embry Riddle on the free throw line, which is precisely where they want to be right now.
And St. Thomas wants them there because, frankly, neither team has done a great job this year in shooting the foul shots. Coach Steve Ritter has said that that would be key tonight and be key if they continued on in postseason play. Shooting from the charity stripe tonight. They were hot early. Mike, the charity stripe, they were 100%. Can you say Idaho? And Embry Riddle fan is holding it up, but the Bobcats of St. Thomas are not out of this yet. It could go either way. We could see OT in this game, Mike.
Well, like you said, we do have 2 teams that are in the middle of the pack in the conference and shoot the foul shots. And Embry Riddle, they were hot from the free throw line. They are only, though, a 68% shooting team from the foul line.
And inbounding the ball will be Titus Dilliard. He'll inbound it on the inline here for Embry Riddle. Price is in the game, Bailey's in the game, Burrows in the game, May's in the game for Embry Riddle. Leading by 2, and there's the ball, handed off to Bailey. He's got it, and I'm surprised the Bobcats have not fouled yet, and finally a foul is called on the Bobcats. We'll have 1 and 1 at the other end, and Mike, I thought they'd foul immediately. They let about 5 seconds go off the clock.
And instead, they're going to be sending, it looks like Matt Bailey's going to be going to the free throw line.
Matt Bailey going to the line tonight, and the tournament and the championship of the season all rides on this. If he sinks 2, it's going to be hard for the Bobcats to get a 3 or get a 2 and stop before we run out of time. If he misses both, the Bobcats could certainly come down and hit a 3 and win this. So it's all up to Bailey here for the Eagles. And that was nothing, Mike, but the bottom of the stack.
Clutch shot by Bailey. Has 1 more.
84-81. The host school, Embry Riddle, leads the defending conference tournament champion, St. Thomas Bobcats, by 3. And both coaches are up, and both coaches are talking to their teams. And Steve Ritter is now yelling at his teams, cover this guy, cover that guy. Let's get the rebound if it's good. And the ball is up, and it is no good. And the rebound goes to Randolph. Out of bounds. Embry Riddle has the ball. A 3-point lead with 4 seconds to go. Mike, it's going to be hard for the Bobcats now.
What a break for the Eagles. The ball going out on St. Thomas, and they're going to keep possession.
Inbounds to Bailey, who's got it and fouled immediately with 3 seconds to go, and they'll put him at the line again. And Mike, in this situation, if you're the Bobcats, you're going to need a missed free throw and a long prayer of a 3-pointer.
Just a couple of made shots by Matt Bailey, and this one's over.
If he hits 1, it's going to be hard press, and the Bobcats want a timeout. Pilato says, give us a timeout, and then got it. We're going to go to a break and be back with the final moments in just a moment. And we're back in Daytona Beach. Embry Riddle leads 84-81. The championship of the Florida Sun Conference at stake. The winner of this game goes on to the national championship game. The loser goes home. Matt Bailey at the foul line again. He's got a 1-and-1 situation. Leading by 3. They have the basketball and only 3 seconds on the clock. Shot is up and good. And that might just close it out. The Bobcats are going to need a lot of help here with 3 seconds left, Mike, to win this thing.
Absolutely. Matt Bailey could have just put the final nail in St. Thomas's coffin.
Bailey at the foul line for the second one, and we've got a buzzer going off. The shot is up and in, and I don't think they're going to count that. There was a buzzer. And are they going to count it? There was a buzzer when he shot the second foul shot. And I don't think they're going to count that. 4 seconds to go. Here goes Greg Watts, brings it across the timeline, needs a 3 and a timeout. The buzzer goes up. Embry Riddle has won this ball game, 86-81. The Eagles are headed to the national championship in Nampa, Idaho. We're back with the postgame in just a moment. We're back live in Daytona Beach, where Embry Riddle University has won the Florida Sun Conference Tournament Championship. They're headed to the national tournament in Nampa, Idaho, 86-81 our final. Mike Laderman, what a great ball game we saw tonight.
Fantastic game, and Embry Riddle seems to be getting used to these trips to nationals. That's 3 in a row, and that's also 4 in the last 6 years for them. Great performances too by Embry Riddle. We've seen some great points. Matt Bailey lighting up for 20, Anthony Burrows 13, John Price off the bench for 12. Clutch shots made, big rebound saved by Kyle Moss, the freshman, pulling it down. Things went right for the Eagles when they mattered, that being at the end of the game.
2 years ago, both teams squared off here for the championship. They squared off tonight, and Embry Riddle comes out the winner. Both teams used a lot of fresh legs. It was a great ball game. We'll be back to wrap it up in just a moment. We're back back in Daytona Beach, where Embry Riddle has won the Florida Sun Conference Tournament Championship 86-81 over the St. Thomas Bobcats. Pete Stubbs just named the MVP of this tournament. He had a great tournament, a great game tonight. Certainly a lot of leadership on the floor with 17 points. Matt Bailey led the charge with 20 points for Embry Riddle. Any idea where Embry Riddle will be come tournament time? Where do you think they'll seed them?
Well, Embry Riddle, they're going in sort of a backdoor. They're not a highly ranked team in the NAIA, so they're going to have a tougher draw, say, than Warner Southern will, who already made the tournament thanks to their top 5 ranking.
Great ball game tonight. Both teams shot around 50%, just under 50% from the floor. A few more turnovers than both coaches wanted. Both coaches said turnovers would play a factor in this ball game, and they did. What a great ball game we saw here tonight between the Bobcats of St. Thomas and Embry Riddle. Embry Riddle now heads to the national tournament in Nampa, Idaho, and there's a great celebration going on here at the home gym. The host school wins this tournament 2 years ago. They did it this year, and they're getting ready to cut down the nets here at Embry Riddle University, where the Eagles have won the Florida Sun Conference Tournament Championship, and now they're headed to nationals. Mike, it's been great having you with me tonight. Been a great ball game. The final, once again, 86-81. Embry Riddle has won the ball game and the championship. Good night and goodbye from Daytona Beach.